Gary, it ended up being a narrow defeat to Burnley, a game that your side stayed in right until the end. As much as there'll be a frustration that we did not pick up any points, can there be a pride in the way that the team managed to keep themselves in that game?
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, coming to places like this with a team that certainly going to challenge for the top two, if not finishing the top two, I think that and you're up against a different test that we've had so far, and it's going to create some challenges along the way within it. I thought we started really well, and then they settle into their rhythm. And what really good teams that have been in the Premier League do is not only can they run, but they can play with an incredible control and intensity. And sometimes if the space is there, they'll run into them and exploit it. And we had a couple of near misses where perhaps they should have gone ahead. A couple of saves for Jamie as well, and the goal they actually score on is probably the most disappointing bit, where they run into that area, having sort of overloaded our right hand side, which they did pretty well. And as soon as Longy jumps out, they open that space up with a run and get a bit of fortune, I think, off Mihail for the own goal, and maybe it was going to be a type of goal like that does it, But I certainly look. I think that it's very easy to go under at a place like this. It's very easy to concede more than one goal. But I thought we stayed in the game, and I thought that certainly towards the end we actually looked like maybe we can put them under some pressure, and maybe we might be able to get something without truly creating any clear-cut chances in that last stage. So yeah, a lot of positives, and certainly I look at a sort of 10-game period rather than necessarily every individual game, and disappointed with it.
Is the next stage in the development of this team to make sure we can challenge towards that top end of the table, making sure we have some more periods of sustained pressure when we come to places like this and we have this opportunity?
Yeah, that's exactly what I said to the group in there. I said, look, when I look at where the teams come from out of League One, and I look at the team in the Championship, at first it was kind of trying to maybe stabilise in this division and feel as though getting out of the sort of bottom three was a little bit of an aim. I don't mean the start of the season, but over a period of time. And then changing that into a team that certainly can more than compete with a middle pack of this division. And the challenge then is to have bigger moments and longer moments in these type of games, because I think that's a challenge for any team. You get good teams who'll come here in the top six and struggle to live with Burnley's intensity. I know they haven't scored loads and loads of goals, but it's probably a similar game today where they created a few chances, maybe were disappointed themselves with only one. So but that's our next challenge, and it's a nice challenge to have. Can we compete with the teams in the top six? Because I don't think there's a million miles away from those lower teams down in that section, and certainly that's what we'll be aiming for.
We saw a first start for Alex Matos tonight. We've seen glimpses of him, but he's a player with real energy, and he really impressed tonight, didn't he?
Yeah, I thought he did. Again, it's a type of game that I felt as though he'd be very, very, very suited to, in terms of he wants to go and press. He gets there quickly, covers ground really, really well. He's probably as good as I've seen over a short sort of area size to get close to someone and take it off them. And that's what you need in these types of games. Of course, at half time, I started him in a slightly more advanced role. We just felt as though he might be able to drop in and help us create a free in there, and maybe a sort of a box with Tyler in there at times, and give us a little bit of width with Shemi and Greg. And it didn't quite work as well as I'd hoped, but certainly second half, Volksy picking up a yellow, I just felt as though it was probably a risk I didn't need to take, and Alex dropped back in there, and I thought it was really good.
We now have a free week. Usually when we talk about 3 weeks, it's because we don't have a game midweek. Now we don't have a game at the weekend. How do you make sure you use this week to get some really good training sessions in, but also gives the guys a bit of downtime and what's a busy schedule? Yeah,
it's been an incredibly tough schedule, so I think we'll have a couple of days off. We've been in most Sundays, to sort of prepare and recover from games. So I think it's one where we'll give them a few days off and then get some good work in. We'll probably get a chance to get at least 2 good training sessions in before we start to prepare for Derby. So I think some of the lads probably need that. Some of the lads who haven't played, the likes of Stan coming in, not involving him tonight really was to look ahead to sort of those couple of sessions to get him a little bit more up to speed with the group, and give him a chance to be involved in the coming games. Because of course a game like today, to be able to use his athleticism would have been nice. But of course we don't want to put a risk to that. So yeah, a little bit of both, bit of recovery, maybe not think about things for a day or two, and then it'll be a chance to reflect and see what we need to do for, hopefully, to go on another impressive run.
Perfect, Gary. Thank you.
Thank you very much.